Hello, this is Ankur Bagai from ankurbagaimedia, and today we'll be talking about photography gears, tips and tricks, and much more on this new channel Ankur Bagai Media. Make sure you subscribe the channel and stay tuned for the further videos. Today we will be talking about 8 best cameras you can buy in the Indian market right now. These are all DSLR and mirrorless camera only. On number 8 we have the Canon 6D Mark II. Canon 6D Mark II is the latest upgrade for the Canon 6D. It features a 26 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor. The ISO range varies from 100 to 40,000 with an expandable of 50 low and 1,02,400 high. It has an ISO score from DxO Mark of 2862, which is a very good score for low light situations. It features a 3 inches articulated screen with just 2 focus for vlogging and other cinematography purposes. It has a 6.5 frame per second which has been upgraded from 4.5 frame per second from original Canon 6D with 45 focus points, and all are cross type with dual pixel AF and live view for the video purposes. It only features a single media slot, that is a UHS one, which is a big disadvantage for the cinematographers, photographers, and one of the biggest lacking after no 4K for the Canon 6D. It doesn't do 4K or 2K of any kind, neither it does any high frame rate like 100 or 120 frame per second like Canon 5D Mark IV. It only delivers 1080p Full HD in MP4, H.264 or double AC codec at from 60 to 24 frames per second. You can get a 4K or 1080 time lapse in 30 or 24 frames per second. It doesn't have external audio port, which is also a lacking for cinematographers and photographers alike. It will be going head to head to latest Sony's A7 Mark III, Nikon D750 and other basic and entry level full frame from other brands. It has a DxO Mark score of 85, which isn't a very good score for a full frame camera. If we talk about the price, right now in the Indian market you can find this camera along with Canon 24 to 105 IS2 USM lens for 1,73,400. Prices may vary from online and offline store to the MRP and the other discounts. If you want to see the detailed comparison and other specification and advantages and disadvantages, please go to our blog post, which will be linked in the description below. The next camera on the list is the Nikon D7500. Nikon D7500 is an upgrade to predecessor D7200. D7500 is often dubbed as a mini version of D500. It features a 21 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor without AA filter. The ISO range is from 100 to 51,200 with an expandable of 50 low and high of 1,64,000. It has the ISO score of 1,483, which is a very good score for an APS-C camera. It has a 3.2 inches articulating touchscreen with touch to focus, which would be helpful for vloggers and cinematographers alike. It features 8 frames per second burst rate with 51 focus points, out of which 15 are cross type. These are just 2 less from the D500. It also features dual media slot, but both the slots are UHS-1 SD card. We hope that it would be having much more faster CFast 2.0 or XQD or the UHS-2 SD card at least, but we are only getting UHS-1 SD card. It is the second APS-C and fourth overall camera to feature 4K after Nikon D5, D850 and D500. With this camera, the Nikon will be giving a tough competition to Sony's A6300, A6500 and Canon's 80D. Also the Canon 7D Mark II. If we talk about the video features, it features 4K in H.264 or MPEG-4 codec at 30 or 24 frames per second. It also does 1080p Full HD from 60 frames per second to 24 frames per second in H.264 or MPEG-4 AVC. It has a DxO mark of 86, which is just one less from the predecessor D7200. If we talk about the price, it is priced at 93,470 with the kit 18-105 AFS VR lens. You can find other prices or the variation of these prices over online and the offline store. Make sure to check the Chandni Chowk market and Lajpat market for the best prices. The next camera on the list is Canon 5D Mark IV. Canon 5D Mark IV was one of the biggest upgrade to Canon's most sold camera, Canon 5D Mark III. Many of the photographers and cinematographers in Canon fanboys found it disappointed with the new Canon 5D Mark IV, while many praised the camera for new features and new upgrades that it provided with. Let's talk about the specifications. It features a 30 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor. It has an ISO range of 100 to 32,000 with expandable of low of 50 and high of 1,02,400. It has an ISO score from DxO mark of 2,995, but the low light wasn't a problem even for the predecessor 5D Mark II or 5D Mark III. We are sure that it will be a beast if you want to use in low light situations like wedding or other photography purposes. It also features a 3.2 inches fixed touchscreen which includes touch to focus from likes of Canon 80D. It features 7 frames per second burst rate with 61 focus points, out of which 41 are cross types, along with a dual pixel AF in the live view mode for the video. 7 frames per second are same as the new Nikon flagship D850. It will be going head to head to Sony's latest A7 Mark III, Pentax K1 Mark II, Nikon D850 and other full frame camera right now in the market. It features dual media slot, out of which one will be the CF card and other will be UHS 1 SD card. It is a major disadvantages for all kind of photographers and videographers, as CFast cards are fast and aren't like the CF 2.0 card that is used in the 1DX Mark II, as well as UHS 1 SD cards are the older technology, with UHS 3 card coming soon. UHS 1 and CF card won't be up to the par for the professional workers. It is the second full frame camera to feature 4K after 1DX Mark II and the third camera overall along with the latest Canon M50. 4K will be done in MOV format only at 30 or 24 frames per second. You can also get 1080p or Full HD in MOV in all-I at 64 to 24 frames per second. If you will be using 4K on this camera, you will have to have additional 1.5x crop, which means you cannot use the wide-angle lenses like 15mm or other 16mm lenses at 16mm, which is a major disadvantage as both the Nikon D850 and the A7R Mark III does without any crop. It also features high frame rates in 720p at 120 and 100 frames per second, but in 2018 nobody will be using 720p for the work, as I suppose. It also features C-Lock from Canon for wider game range, wider color and higher dynamic range. It has a DxO mark of 91 and remains the only camera in the DxO marks list with the score of 90 and above from the Canon manufacturers. It has a high tag price of 2,92,523 along with the Canon 24-105 IS2 USM lens. You can also find a kit with the body for 24 to 70, but you have to confirm the price in the outer market. The next camera is the Sony's A9. Sony A9 was an answer for the photography, sports photographers and wildlife and bird photographers, and in direct competition with 1DX Mark II and Nikon's D5. It features a 24 megapixel full frame XMOR RS CMOS sensor along with the latest Bionz X processor from Sony. It has an ISO range of 100 to 51,200 with an expandable of 50 on low and 2,04,800 on high. It has an ISO score of 3,517 and remains the highest scoring ISO score on the list. It has a 3-inch tilting touchscreen with touch to focus. The biggest advantage for the A9, which beats D5 and 1DX Mark II by a big difference, will be the 20 frames per second burst rate or 60 frames per second if you use live view, without any blackouts. With 693 phase detection focus point, it covered almost 93% of the screen for perfect and the best shots you can expect at the Olympics game or any sports game. It also features Sony's 5-axis in-body image stabilization with up to 5 strokes of compensation. It features dual media slot with UHS 2 or and UHS 1 SD card or memory stick. We wanted a much more faster XQD cards, but as Sony claims to have the world's fastest SD card, there won't be any problem in this genre. It features 4K in 30 and 24 frames per second along with 1080p Full HD from high frame rate of 120 frames per second till 24 frames per second in XAVCS, AVC HD and MP4. It is also rumored and there was an article by B&H Photo after the leaked photo on the Instagram from the Winter Olympics that Sony will be coming with a new telephoto lens, which will be a Sony 400mm f2.8G master lens in the summer of 2018. With this lens, the Sony can finally have an answer to the both Nikon and Sony, and it would be a first choice camera for many of the photographers worldwide. It has a DxOMark score of 92 and it is priced at 2,80,000, and if you wish to buy it along with the Sony's 24 to 105 f4G OSS lens, you can also avail additional discount of 50,000 rupees. The next camera on the list is Fujifilm's X-T2. Fujifilm isn't a big brand in India right now, with Nikon, Canon and Sony controlling the Indian photography industry. Fujifilm can be a dark horse in this race. The camera features 24 megapixel APS-C X-Trans CMOS 3 sensor along with their latest X Processor Pro. It features ISO range of 200 to 12,800 with an expandable of 100 to 51,200. DxOMark doesn't review or test any Panasonic and Fujifilm, so we cannot give any kind of ISO score as well as DxOMark score. It has a 3 inches 3-way tilting screen. It also features 14 frames per second with 325 focus points for photographers. It has dual media slot, of which both are UHS 2 SD cards. It does 4K in MOD at 30 or 24 frames per second with 1.7x crop factor up to 10 minutes only. It also has 1080p at 60 frames per second till 24 frames per second for up to 15 minutes only. If you use the vertical booster grip or the HDMI out, you can have much more longer video output. It also features Fujifilm's own f-log for wider gamma and higher dynamic range for color grading. It is priced as 1,29,000 along with the 18 to 55 f2.8 to 4R LMOIS lens. The next camera on our list is Panasonic GH5. Panasonic GH5 is the only Micro Four Thirds camera right now in our list. It features a 20.3 megapixel Micro Four Thirds live MOS sensor. It is an upgrade to Panasonic GH4. Panasonic GH4 was the first DSLM mirrorless camera to feature 4K video decked out of camera. It features an ISO range of 200 to 25,600 with an expandable of at low of 100 only. It isn't good in low light situations at higher ISO, as reported by many cinematographers and vloggers over YouTube and other forums that it struggles in the low light situation and have a higher ISO, bigger noise problems. It can be seen because of the smaller MFT sensor. Let's continue. It features a 3.2 inches fully articulating touchscreen with touch to focus. It also features 12 frames per second with 225 focus points and phase detection for video. We doubt that anybody will be using this camera for still photography purposes. It also features 5-axis in-body image stabilization with up to 5 stops of compensation. It features dual media slot with UHS 2 SD card. It also does 6K and a 4K photo like it did on the GH4. 4K photos mode with the burst of 30 to 60 frames per second respectively. It does 4K in 60 frames per second till 24 frames per second and 1080 in 90 till 24 frames per second in MPEG-4, AVC HD and H.2.64 codec. It also features a special 180 frames per second ultra slow motion video for perfect slow motion shots and B-roll. It is priced at 1,49,990 and you can also find a kit with the Leica lens for this camera, but you have to confirm the prices in the market. Now, second best camera according to DxOMark and the biggest advantage for the any mirrorless lover or Sony lover, and one of the best camera right now in the mirrorless industry is Sony A7R Mark III. Sony A7R Mark III is an upgrade to Sony A7R Mark II and it is one of the best cameras you can get for the money right now. It features 42 megapixel full frame XMOR RS CMOS sensor along with their latest BIOS X processor. It also features ISO range of 100 to 32,000 with an expandable of low of 50 and high of 1,02,400. It has a good ISO score of 3,523 which keeps it along with the Sony A9 with the best of ISO score in the market right now. With ISO score this high, it even beats Nikon's D850 in this point. It features a 3-inch tilting touchscreen with just to focus and other menu control options over the screen. It features 10 frames per second which has been upgraded from 5 frames per second from A7R2 with a 399 phase detection AF points which approximately covers 68% of the screen. The best feature that would be loved by fashion and lifestyle and portrait photographer worldwide is IAF. It also features 5-axis in-body image stabilization with up to 5.5 stop of compensation as said by the company. It has dual media slot of UHS 2 SD card, or you can use the Sony's memory stick if you like to use one of them. Again, we want to see the much more faster UHS 3 SD cards, but they are just yet to come in this market. We were expecting much more faster XQD cards, but with Sony claiming to have the world's fastest SD card, there won't be any problem for any Sony user. It does 4K in 30 or 24 frames per second and 1080 in high frame rates of 120 till 24 frames per second in AVC HD and XAVCS codec. It has a near perfect DxOMark score of 100 and is only second to Nikon D850. It is priced at 2,25,165 on online market right now, but you have to check the price in outer market as well. You can also get the promotional offer like Sony A9 on this model as well. You will have an additional 20,000 discount if you wish to purchase this camera along with their Sony 24-105 f4G or the 24-7 f2.8G master lens. Number 1 camera on our list, or DxOMark's list, and the currently on every photographer's and bloggers list is Nikon D850. Many of the users right now are afraid that the Nikon D850 might be the last of its kind as a traditional DSLR to become the best camera around the world. With Sony and other companies getting and capturing the market fast, and with the Canon and Nikon working on their mirrorless lineup, we might not be seeing DSLR in another 5 years or so. It features 46 megapixel full frame BSI CMOS sensor without AA filter, which is being upgraded from the original Nikon D800 and D810 of 36 megapixel. With the new BSI technology, it have a better output in the low light situations even. It has an ISO range of 64 to 25,600 with an expandable of 32 to 1,02,400. It has an ISO score of 2,660 and it is very good in low light. It has a 3.2 inches tilting touchscreen which does to focus with additional menu control like D500 and D7500. It does 7 frames per second burst rate out of the box, and if you use MB D18 battery pack with the Nikon E and EL 18B D5 battery, which will cost you additional 83,000, you can get 9 frames per second. And it has a focusing system from Nikon D5 with 153 focus points, out of which 99 are cross focus. It features dual media slot out of one, which is XQD, which is much more faster card, and other one is UHS-2 SD card. We would have wished that it would be having 2 XQDs or 2 CF or 2 SD card like the bigger D5, but the XQD card and the UHS-2 SD card are the perfect for the camera right now. It is second full frame camera and fourth overall camera to feature 4K along with Nikon D5, D500 and D7500. It will be a direct competitor to A7 Mark III, A7R Mark III, Canon 5D Mark IV, and the latest Pentax K1 Mark II. It will be doing 4K in MOV and MP4 at 30 or 24 frames per second without any crop factor, so that you can use the 14 to 24 2.8 lens at 40mm for the travel or other vlogging purposes. It also does 1080p at 60 or to 24 frame per second with a faster and a newer upgraded face detection, which will be helpful for many vloggers worldwide. It also does, which is the best feature of this camera as according to me, which is 8K and 4K time lapse at 120 200 frames per second. It is number 1 on the DxO mark with the score of 100. It is priced as 2,54,957 along with the 24 to 120 f4 VR lens, which is the best value bargain for the camera right now. All the prices were checked on the My Smart Price for the lowest price. We are not sponsored by any website, company or any dealer to say or tell about them, but we found them useful for the handiwork we used to do and shopping we does. If you want the best price, you can check the Chandini Chowk Kutcha market or the Lajpat Nagar future forward market for the best price and the best bargain for the camera and additional offers. You can also check the online prices and the MRP for get an idea of what prices would be getting in the market right now. Please make sure that you check the blog in our description link below, so that you can get much more detailed information about every camera we have talked about, along with the comparison to their direct competitors, advantages and disadvantages of every camera, along with other information. Please make sure that you subscribe, like and share this video, and if you have some valuable comment, please make sure to write it down. Stay tuned because in our next video we will be talking about the 8 new cameras that are launched right now or will be coming shortly in the summer of 2018. It will be including the Pentax K1 Mark II, Canon's 2 new basic camera, Sony's A7 Mark II and other cameras as well. That's it for right now. This is Ankur Bagai from Ankurbagaimedia. Thank you and see ya. Bye bye.